All right, welcome back to the party, everybody. I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of Common Sense. What is good? What is good? Happy Saturday! Oh man, oh man, oh man! That strike. I don't really drink unless I'm streaming. Even sometimes up here, like I'm not drinking right now. But sometimes I will drink up here. Like tomorrow for movie night, I will definitely be drinking up here. But usually I'm mainly drinking when I'm doing the show. But you get a strike, and I'm not doing the show for a whole week. And I mean, I still did the show on other streams, but I wasn't drinking as much. We didn't go as long. We weren't going as hard. And oh man, it's taking me a minute. It's taking me a minute to get back into it. So I'm not going to stay for too long. But I wanted to say what's up and what's good. And shout out to anybody over on the vertical stream. I haven't done a vertical stream in quite a while. If you are over on that vertical stream and you want to come over to hang out in the regular landscape stream, we have the link both pinned to the chat and in the description. So come on through. All right, it's a roll up and chill, baby. It's a roll up and chill. So we're gonna roll up. I'm gonna give my the same PSA that I always give. You should get a bigger grinder, but make sure you look at the size of the teeth and the holes. Normal size grinder, do your thing, and you're gonna get a nice little fine grind. But this thing doesn't really grind up that well. But I have a way to make sure you get a perfect fine grind every single time. Got the zigzags. I use the should we be 3 or should we be 4? Let's do 4. I usually use the raw cones, but I realized that they were kind of floating. The glue strip was just it just wouldn't burn. Shout out to Snow Rydell. Welcome to the party. Doing a little roll up and chill. How are you doing? All right, so that was all going down. So I figured let me give the zigzags a shot. And they are better, but I feel like it might be one of those things where because I'm ordering it online and it's getting delivered and all that stuff, it's getting messed up in the mail or like it's just in a warehouse or something. And it's not the brand; it's just the actual thing. I don't know. Let's see what we got. I marked these by number, and I was supposed to go like I like doing 2 strains. Definitely not that one. Was it that one? I like doing 2 strains, and so I labeled them. I just cut out a little piece for this 4, and that one's 2. One of them has a 1 and a 3, so I know which one is which. Because I always forget which strain. And I thought it would be easier. I'm like, okay, tonight we're doing 1 and 2. Then tomorrow we'll do 2 and 3. And the next day, and I lost track. So now I'm back to just looking at what does it seem like has the most left. Jam back this one, baby. What are you all up to on this fine Saturday? Are they playing World Cup stuff right now? I wonder. Like that's been that I'm so excited how a lot of Europeans are just posting all over. I see all over TikTok. Like, oh my god, this American food. The people are so nice. Everything they told us was bullshit. Bullshit. Like, yeah, bro. America #1. Shout out to Jager. Welcome to the party. What is good? I'm not feeling so hot, but I wanted to come and hang out with you guys for a little bit. A little bit of a hangover, but it is what it is. What are you up to? Yeah, I was just saying about the Europeans. I was like, oh my god, American culture is amazing, and I love that it's coming from Europeans because, like, let's just say, for example, it was a bunch of Indians or a bunch of Asian people coming over here. Then it would be difficult to have to make the distinction of, oh, do they like American culture or do they like white culture? But these are Europeans. That's where quote unquote white culture. That's that. And so, point being that we ain't about that. We about American culture. That's what makes us great. No ills if you ain't if you're white. Nothing wrong with being white, but that's not what makes this country great. Golly. I mean, we know, like, food is such a big part of culture, and like that's mainly what I've seen. I've seen a couple videos of people being like, "Oh my god!" I've seen a couple people going to like Walmart and be like, "Oh my god, Walmart is so big," or Costco or whatever. But most of it is food. Most of it is people going to basic ass restaurants. Like I just saw this guy. I think he said he was from Senegal. And he's like, "Oh my god, I had this medium rare steak, and it was paired with the wine, and it was so amazing. What was it called? Longhorns." And it's like, yeah, bro. Yeah, I mean, it ain't no pogo, but Longhorn is what's up. Shout out to Soul D over on Twitch. Welcome to the party. Very good to see you, sir. And yes, I did open up the vertical stream again, since I don't think we're gonna be doing anything that's gonna get me in trouble. Yeah, so say hello if you are on the vertical stream. Hey, hello. You know, just rolling. Nice. I slept in. I don't know what happened to me. I was knocked out until like 2 p.m., bro. Right? The stream numero uno is actually number 2. That's great. Running low. Got probably 4 days worth. I gotta re-up. I remember I'd gotten grape gas. I'd gotten bubblegum gelato. I think this is a Phantom. This is not. And what else? I think a lemon cherry something. Hey, oh, I was like, hey, shout out to TV Viewerski with the $10 PayPal. Thank you. So very much, sir. I forgot the quick story on that because I'm about to go get his treat. Yes, every donation comes with a treat for the Overlord. But I came home from work the other day, and he's at the door, and his whole face is just crusty. I'm like, what did you get into? Forgot the Cinnamon Toast Crunch on the bed, and he got into it. Let me grab that whole review. Thank you. So, of course, we always got a refill. Oh, actually, that reminds me. I gotta order more of the actual treat too. We're out of that. Thank you. So very much. I like opening it in such a way where it doesn't go bad. No branding. We go this side. I just take a little X-Acto knife and now I can fit my hand in there, but it's not all opened up. Gang. All right, come on, get it, boy. Yeah. Thank you. So very much, sir. Very much appreciated, and never need to apologize. I'm here for you guys. But we do have a movie night, as you can see by the banner, that tomorrow is not only movie night but double feature. Make sure you go to that community tab and vote if you have not done so already on which movies we will be watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very, very much, sir. And let me put sponsor the viewers. Thank you so much, man. Boom. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very, very much, sir. Yes, it's legal here. So yeah, Jager, you're on the vertical stream. If you don't like, if you're cool with that, cool. But if you want to be on the landscape stream, you can click the pinned link or just go right into the description. It'll bring you to the full thing. I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing it back. CTC is not only like this. This is the best cereal. This is the best cereal. If you say that Cinnamon Toast Crunch is the best cereal, period, you are wrong. You are wrong. Objectively, you are wrong. Because CTC waffle is CTT, but better. And so it's like a puffed up thing. It's a puffed up little square. And so it's not sharp. And so as good as Cinnamon Toast Crunch actually is, you get the, especially if you're you cut the roof of your mouth and all that stuff. Not CTC waffle. Nice and puffy. Love it. Now, yeah, he's the cute one. I remember when I had first got him. Yeah, right. You like the landscape better. Most people do, but we get a lot more random people, scrolling through and grab some. But when I first got him, Morty, I was in college and I would take him out on campus and just walk around and be like, "Hey, ladies, bro." They would literally walk up to me and just like let's say you are me. Instead of being like, "Oh, hey, how are you? Your dog is so cute." They just be walking up, "Oh, so cute!" I just walk away. It's like, hi. Where did that get? Oh, that's what I was gonna do. God damn it! Yeah, it's exactly right. And if Morty hadn't eaten it, I was gonna take the leftover actual cinnamon sugar and pour it into this one. Give it a little shake so it's got it. Oh, he ate it. That's all right. We love Morty. We love Morty. But yes, we do have a movie night tomorrow. So nobody has said anything about like, oh, can you move it from 8 o'clock or anything? You still have time to do that. So if you are able to make a movie night, but your 8 o'clock won't work, we're not going to do it all day. But if you're like, if you can push until 9 and I can make it, then I'm down for that. But other than that, I will be live here on YouTube for a while, maybe for like an hour or so. We'll just hang out. I got a bunch of lectures links for you. We can take a look at some of the movies today if I'm not gonna puke. And same thing as last time. We'll hang out here for a while, let everybody gather up, and then we move to Rumble, and it's a double feature. Because the last time I remember looking at the poll, I think it was Lethal Weapon. Indiana Jones was in first place, and Lethal Weapon was in second place. And so, if you remember, you can actually have a little bit more of an effect on how it plays out. Because that I'm doing one poll, and the second place movie is going to be the opener. And so, if you already see, okay, Indiana Jones is going to win, but I like Indiana Jones, so I would vote for that. But it's already winning. Then you place your vote for the opener. Then we got the headliner, that you want. And you open it there. It's looking like we're going to open up a lethal weapon and go into Raiders of the Lost Ark. Great American movies that I never saw because my parents are immigrants. Great. I was gonna say, like, if it were cheap, like a cornflakes type deal, I would be when I was more broke. Then I would get whatever the cheapest one is because it was food, and then I'd add like either fruit to it or some sugar on it or whatever. Good time. All right. So as always, this is the end of my PSA about the grinder, where I told you got to make sure you look at the size of the teeth and the size of the holes to make sure you're getting the grinder that you want. I haven't done this on camera in a while, and it always fucks up when I do it on camera. But what you want to do is, so you want to twist and flip. You want to get it in there, kind of get in there, but you have to grind it upside down. You grind it upside down so that when it grinds, it doesn't fall into the lower chambers. It just stays right there and gets further around. But if you go in too hard, it's jam-packed. It's jam-packed. So if I go in too hard, then it's not gonna cut. Oh, baby, there you go. And then you just slightly push inwards while you're twisting. And again, I don't want to get in too deep because then the teeth will be submerged in all this thick nuggature. And now it's all ground up. And now I can do a nice little boom, 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 boom. And then you turn it. Boom. You can see the size, the fine grind that we got here. That's how you do it. We actually live in California. Everyone grows here. Dispensaries are too expensive. Yup. I may or may not, allegedly, have a guy that I just text him. He sends me a menu. They're like, I get this, and this. And he comes through the next day. Shout out to Alpew. Welcome to the party o'clock. Yeah, I used to love bananas. And then one day I became allergic. I'm with Alpew. Yeah, not my favorite. Not my favorite. I would like a good healthy cereal because clearly Cinnamon Toast Crunch is not healthy. It's not the best thing to be eating right before you're going to bed. And shit like that. But I've tried so many different things. I'm a snacker. I always need a snack when I'm going to bed. There was a time when I was getting freeze dried strawberry flakes. So it was like a slice of strawberry, but it's been freeze dried. It was so good, like the sweetness of a strawberry, but because they suck out all the moisture, then I guess the sugar molecules or whatever, they're way more, and so obviously it's not as juicy as a real, it is, but as a fresh strawberry. But they were so good, but they're just so expensive. Everything's so goddamn expensive. It really is. It's not cheap to eat decent. The birds aren't real, bro. Birds aren't real. I should put a thing out. Let me put a thing out. See if anybody's popping back. And thank you again, TV. No, my dad texted the family group chat and was like, "I'm at a men's butt competition." What? He purposely didn't put any pictures. He purposely waited for me to be like, "Hey, yo, what are you doing, bro?" And he's like, "Oh, don't worry. It was it was pork butt." Got him. Got him. Shout out to Diane. Welcome to the party. No problems with Jesus Christ. I love that I love everything that he said. Personally, not a believer of this, but we are here to come together with people we disagree with. So welcome to the party. Christianity is unquestionably the best moral structure, but as someone who's born into the church, grew up, confirmed in the church, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. We are right now. Ooh. We can get some more people in here. Let's see. For 2 years, all the birds had, and yep, this guy knows. This guy knows. You remember when there used to be a lot of just fun conspiracies that weren't directly political? Except for Charm, remember? Like that's the yo. Have you guys seen the new movie Obsession that's made by the YouTuber guy? Like, I gotta show you. I think I posted it on here, didn't I? Shout out to TikTok and just automatically downloading anything I post onto my phone. Well, I may as well post it to YouTube. Check this out, bro. I mean, this is just me talking about it, but have you guys seen it? Yeah, I heard about it too. And like the other thing here is I watched a cam version. I mean, it was a good cam version, but you know, I got my oh yeah, I forgot what we're here with that. But I got my sites to watch stuff, you know, and I've been waiting for Obsession to come out, and I was like, all right, let me check. And yesterday it was finally up there. There were like 2 different sites, 4 different servers on each one, just to see if there was a legit quality, like a screener, an actual screener, or and one with captions because the sound wasn't great. One out of those had that. It was the same version. It was good enough. I changed the settings on my TV a little bit, and because it is a very visual movie, but it's also not like, you know, a visual spectacle. So it doesn't really matter that it's crazy. Bro, I made a video within the first 10 for the first 30 minutes, and that was the first time I'd stopped. I'm telling you. Let me just play this, and then I'll get the other one that I made when I first.
This is gonna sound hyperbolic, but this was the scariest movie I have ever seen. Follow along for deep dives on movies and TV. I just made another video about how saying one of the most terrifying parts of this is that, like, I've been with crazy girls, but I've never been with like a crazy girl. But I mean, the whole thing, top to bottom, just beautifully done. I wish I had the specific words to label all of these different aspects, but I just gotta talk about it. Every single scene of this movie is either character building or directly the plot, or both. Very quickly, I felt resonated with the main guy.
Yeah, dude. If you've ever had someone obsessed with you, it's like that. It's like that, bro.
I just watched. I forget his name. The main guy, and
Bear.
The fact that you see him go from, you know, so quiet and then comfortable in the relationship and then just terrified. It all felt so real. And then at the very end, spoilers. But
I was gonna say, let me pause it there so that we don't have the spoiler, because it's a pretty basic premise. It's a pretty basic premise. You know, about a guy wishes that a girl loves him, and you know, everything goes wrong from there. So that's the premise. And you know, I was just about to talk about something at the end, but this is another video that I'd made when I was only 30 minutes into the movie, and I would have made it earlier.
This is gonna sound so.
Is this the right one? Yeah. Wait. Is this the one we just watched? This is a different one, right?
Cliche, but I'm watching Obsession, and it's like, oh yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. Movies used to make you feel something.
What the fuck?
Follow along for deep dives on movies and TV. Yes, I'm watching it at home. If you have a problem with it, watch my last video. So I'm about half an hour in. Like,
I was saying, I'm watching it for free, but like, if somebody's got Corey Baker's Venmo, I will send him all of that money. I just want to watch it without having to leave my house.
just to when he's going to Google or probe, does a One Wish Willow actually work? And already, there's so many different moments of like visceral, communal, like that, just that, oh, I feel what you're feeling. Just like being able to resonate from the very beginning with, Homeboy giving his love speech. I'm a softie. So I been there. That was me in middle school. Then when he's talking to his boy, and they're like, yo, trivia night, whatever. Been in positions where it's like, bro, please don't mess this up over a girl. And then as Nikki switches up on him, as someone who's been in relationships before, it's just like, oh man, I am very glad that I'm single right now. They managed to hit both opposite points that are it's so hard to articulate, but it's like love and hate, and they've created that dichotomy already. Like the story is obviously the wish worked and she's going to be obsessed with him, but before we even get to most of that, I'm already locked in. And I can't remember the last time I watched a new movie and felt like that. I think I've just gotten used to the fact that movies are mid, and I put it on and I'm like, all right, hopefully this is good enough. And I get through it and it's like, all right, that wasn't a waste of time. And I mean, a lot of newer TV shows suck as well, but the classics are the classics. And if I'm rewatching Lost or Breaking Bad, I'm on the edge of my seat every time. And I watched Iron Lung. I had to do something, and I didn't.
You get the point, but I'm saying so immediately it locks you in. You from the jump. There's no like waiting to like, all right, let's see when the movie starts. That's a big thing with me, where like they're kind of doing stuff, and it's like you don't really know what's going on. It's gonna come back like start the movie. Let's get into it, and they do just that. Shout out to Aaron Goodwin. Welcome. It's just gas. Welcome to the party. I'm just rolling up. I am hungover, and I want to go to bed. You guys doing anything cool for Father's Day? Oh. You said I was with this crazy ass chick in LA. I'll put all my guns in the safe and change the lock code all the time. So somehow she made a copy of my house keys and would just show up and walk in. Bro, that's exactly the kind of shit that I mean. If you've ever been in any kind of situation like that, not even that bad, or like anything along the spectrum of fits like that, you need to fucking watch Obsession. And send me a DM or something if you, I could hook you up with the low-key-ish, you know what I mean? So you ain't gotta pay anything. Yes, Father's Day is tomorrow. I got my dad this big magazine cover with, actually, let me see. Usually it doesn't show up, but let's see if it shows up here. Because I wanted something that had to do with my niece. My niece, being my sister's kid. That's his first grandchild, and so I wanted to do something that was like in that vein, but also just dad in general, because we don't necessarily do big gifts every year for that stuff anyway. And they just moved out of state, and so I was like, let's do something a little bit bigger. So I got how well is this? This is just a preview. It comes out better, but that's him holding his granddaughter, and it's meant to be a cover of GQ. It says Dad of the Year. It says I'm retired, not expired. How he became the man who's never wrong. Because, we love those arguments. He's just like me. One said, the ultimate guide to not spilling on yourself. Because he just retired. But he was a vascular surgeon. Meaning he was taking microscopic little things. And I remember when I was a kid, he had this setup where there were these little arms of something that it looked like, those old people that have the grabbers? It looked like similar to that, but it was a little thing meant to have these arms tie stitches in places where you can't get your hands. And so he'd be controlling it up here, and it'd go down, and it would be doing these intricate knots and stuff like that. Grandma, I am stealing that. Thank you so much. I am stealing that. Oh man, that is brilliant. That is fucking brilliant. Gang. Yeah, right. You have to see it. What was I just saying though? Fuck. Oh yeah, so he's somehow doing this type of surgeries where everything is minuscule and super precise. The man can't eat a meal without it getting all over him. I don't know how it's the same person. But he's won awards for his surgery and shit. Like, knock something over every time he gets up. Crazy. Oh, the summer solstice? Word up! That means it's gonna start getting dark earlier again. I like the dark. I was up, we were streaming last night, and by the time I finished with my TikTok stuff and all that, then it was almost 5:30. I'm like, the sun's coming out already? I need the sun to come out at like 8:30, because I usually, because of the fact that I'm up late, but I also sometimes have to be up, not early, but earlier than I'd like for work, and streaming late at night. And I don't really have a good set schedule of like, okay, it's bedtime, or this is when I usually wake up. It depends on like what's going on. So like tonight, I'm streaming early because I'm not feeling so well, and so I'm gonna go to bed when we're done here. It's probably gonna be about 8 o'clock, watch a few episodes of TV, and pass out at by 10 or whatever. But then every other night, I do stream until at least 11:30, 12 o'clock, and then we're usually up doing stuff after that. But if there's nights that I gotta wait, so point being, I usually sleep in 2 parts. So I usually sleep, for example, tonight, because I'm going to get to bed early, I'm going to go to sleep relatively early, and then I'll probably wake up in the middle of the night at 2, 3, 4, 5, somewhere in there. And so I'll just be up for an hour or so. I'll smoke another one of these, and then I'll pass back out until the morning. On a night that I'm streaming, I'm not going to go to sleep until whatever time, but then I'll wake up quickly, and I'll be very tired again. So maybe I'll have to take a couple puffs, and then I fall back to sleep. And I've always been like that. I'm not someone who's ever had a routine or a schedule. I think, one of the, trying to look at the bright sides, the silver lining in things. Obviously, we just saw Morty. He's going to be 16 in a couple months. And, he ain't going to be around forever. And so he's a big factor as to why, I can't do this every Wednesday at 6 or whatever. I'm losing. I can't get one ever. Otherwise, 11. Yeah, that's normal-ish hours. But I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Subscribe if you have not done already, and of course, sometimes live whenever I feel like it. And we usually go, like I said, 10:30, 11. But if if we're doing something, if we're having fun, if we're doing rolling in, all that shit, then we keep it pushing. Other times I'll be like on a debate channel, they're debating or judging, and people on the West Coast, so their shit don't start until it's almost midnight here. All depends. I've been pretty good with being able to get most of my dog trainer. Most of my dog training clients have I can finagle it so that either I can do a Saturday. So we're Tuesday through Saturday at that. But it's very like set your own schedule. I just hook up with the people at the training. Okay, what do you need? I'm available here. When are you available? So most people will either work from home, have a work from home day, have a day off in the middle of the week, or I can put them on a Saturday, and I can do that in the afternoon. So usually I don't have to be like up early. I still got to drive and all that stuff. And so if I'm up to 4, and then I got to leave the house at 10, that's not ideal. You can understand that. I cannot recommend CBN enough. I'll put it in the chat. CBN. You've heard of CBD, right? That's related to cannabis and all that. But speaking of the dispensary, there you go. That's exactly what CBN does. So yeah, you heard that obviously, THC, and then you have CBD, which is good for like inflammation and things like that without being psychoactive. So like you could, if you needed to use a lot of CBD for arthritis or whatever, it's not like you'd be baked just because you took a lot. That's the THC is the psychoactive. But there's a different cannabinoid. I don't know the full name, but it goes by CBN. And it's basically, I just think of it as night. N stands for night. Because without adding any psychoactivity, the sleep components are so much stronger. And I found it because I was one of the products that I used, thinking but I was in between people, and I was looking for a new guy, so I went to the dispensary, and I forgot this meeting going to be 2 hours, not going to be great. Let me get some gummy. I was like, what's the heaviest one? And the lady, she was like, oh, try these. We just got these in. They're 1-to-1 CBN. So for every milligram of THC, there's also a full milligram of CBN. And it makes you sleepy. It puts you out without making you groggy. Because I used to have this edible tincture where I take like 200 milligrams because I needed to pass out. But then the next day, I'd be like dead. With the CBN, oh man. Out like that, wake up the next day fresh as a butterfly. I don't know. All the seizures, you mean pictures? Well, I mean, definitely buy food if you can only afford one, but I'm not that broke. We can get weed and food. I bought a case of canned Wendy's chili. It's fire. I also I got a little thing of sour cream, and one of those little things, the pre-cut onions. I get a whole onion, just gonna go bad. And so I put a little bit of that, a little bit of Taco Bell sauce, boom, 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 a little bit of pasta, and it is delicious. So creative. What's that? Oh wait, you mean just potatoes, or are you saying potatoes with something and magnesium glycinate? Because I'm always looking for ways to like it's forever. It's been impossible for me to fall asleep. I don't understand how people can just like be up and doing things, and then okay, bedtime, and then you just go. Simple. That's never how I've been. Before I was old enough where my parents wouldn't have a TV in my room, then I would be listening to music. And even though I was into like metal and stuff, I was listening to that just to keep as like white noise, like actual white noise, like just a rain or whatever. That wasn't enough. So I need something stimulating enough that my mind is stimulated, but not keeping me up. Okay, so what something that? Oh, just like a tablet of magnesium glycinate. Do I eat a lot of potatoes? Not really, but I could if it would knock me the fuck out. I forgot what I was saying again. The fuck were we just talking about? Dog. It's gone. It's gone. 700 meg. Give it a shot. Magnesium in general, just straight up magnesium tablets, those are good for anxiety, but not quite. Like I'd take like an actual like narcotic anxiety medication. Oh yeah, getting to sleep. So that's part of where was I? What? You are. You were definitely on Rumble last week, right? Is JVen different than JL? I asked and said, yeah, I'm JL. When you're saying this, I'm assuming this is the first time I've seen you on YouTube since I've been back. I had a strike. Wait, that wasn't you on Rumble? Or are you saying something different? You are confusing the fuck out. Community guidelines strike. So apparently, when we talked to that Bob Saget, putting an R in the middle of the F slur doesn't pass the filter. Or he got mad that I called him that and master put my channel for 8 weeks. I don't know why I said we won't see, but we can guess. We can guess. But yeah, the idea of going people just going to sleep. I need my regular anxiety medication because that's why when I was a kid I needed the music so bad because I didn't realize that I had actual anxiety. My mind would just and I just wouldn't be able to get to sleep. And then I got older and I started abusing drugs. Started doing fucking perks and Xanax and shit. And I actually realized, like, wait. There's more. Like, yes, this is a lot of fun, but there's actually this other part here that I didn't realize that, like, my brain operates this way, and there's a way for it to not be operating that way. Hey, we got Blueberry Street. Welcome to the party. Very good to see you. Oh, what? You got a strike right now? Oh man, that's one other thing I didn't check. I didn't know if I could chat while I was on the strike. I couldn't post anything. If you get a copyright strike, and you can still like post on your community tab. I think you can still post like regular videos. You just can't live stream. I think so. Right? And then I can still use my community tab and all that stuff. But when you get the community guideline strike for hate speech, then they just lock you out. The only thing I was able to do was respond to comments. So if you had commented on something recently, I could find it and be like, hey, I got the strike. I can't tell anybody anything. We're going to be on Rumble, Twitch, and X all week. But other than that, let's just say shit. Yeah, that's why I have to follow. That's why not only do I need to watch TV when I go to sleep, like there are specific things that I need to watch. So I like watching, whatever is new, but as much as I love, a good rewatch. But if there's a show that I'm actively watching, then that also is going to keep me up at night. And so I need specific sleepy time shows, sitcoms that I've seen over and over and over, so that I can listen to it and have a good enough idea of what is on the screen. And so that's what that extra energy that my brain is doing. It's creating the imaginary image of what I'm hearing. I said that all happens, but it has to be something that I know well enough. Because if I hear something that is like I don't really remember that, then my brain's going, what is that? And I want to, take a peek at the screen. So, The Office, Parks and Rec, Community, The Good Place, The Ranch. Those are shows that I can watch to go to sleep. But I don't know how y'all people do. And that's, of course, on top of 4 joints, essentially Xanax. The CBN. I was like, I know there's something else. The CBN. I got Huggy. Remember, guys, in case you didn't know, we do have movie night tomorrow night. Please do check the poll on my community tab to help decide what movie we will be watching, and movies indeed, because as you can see by the banner, it is a double feature. So make sure you get your votes in. At this point, if you haven't voted, you should just vote for what you want the second place movie to be. It looks like Indiana Jones is going to win no matter what. Tarot leaders. I definitely don't believe in that. But I went to visit my dad's mom before she passed in Trinidad and Tobago. That's where it's from. And it's on the community tab. I can put a link in here. But we went there, and one of her neighbors was really into tarot card reading and all that shit. Yeah, okay. So I just put the link to the poll. Don't forget to come back. And remember, you should go for your second place. It looks like number 1. Or maybe it hasn't. Maybe it's close. Do whatever you want. But, yeah, I don't really believe in tarot stuff, but her neighbor was like, do you want to do a reading? I was like, yeah, I've never had it. Why not? Why not? And, you go into those things skeptical, and you're going to be skeptical. But there's some things that's like, okay, I can see how, this is akin to my life in a way that maybe you shouldn't understand. Yeah, some people just, just like seeing what the universe is up to. And if you believe that's connected, I definitely believe that there's some kind of energy that connects us all or something. But I don't care to get into the woo woo of it all. Hey, shout out to Abe Dingus. Welcome to the party. Hungover as well. Indeed. Oy vey. Them Friday nights, man. We're getting old. I gotta start diluting my drinks more. No, yeah. I saw. So now that you're here, because I popped in to watch BK for a minute. But I did it way long ago. Talking about Verbal Combat on the Speakeasy platform. Now, I did BK a while ago. And what are can you just quickly tell me how the structure of the show is? Because what I remember is just being on the panel, and then somebody would pay for this, and I'd be backstage again, and I'd come back, and then I'd get backstage again. I just didn't feel like something that was worth the time, especially because I do my show on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and so VK doesn't really get started until midnight my time. And so if I'm going to be, amped up doing my own show, drinking, and then I go to VK and I'm sitting backstage, now the buzz is starting to drift off. Now I'm starting to I don't want to be drinking too much, and then have to debate. And then I also confused it with the way that Grid One Motorsports does his, because I stopped really trying to do those things around the same time. There we go. There we go. Make sure you are. So again, reminder: I will be live for about an hour before here on YouTube before we go over to Rumble for movie night. So make sure your notifications are on and everything. So you will be we will be good. Well, people pay for one. Everyone is almost yeah. Okay, that makes sense. And so I don't have a big enough profile where I don't have a big enough profile where I can have somebody like, yo, send them $20 so that I can do it. And so I would just have to wait and hope that somebody wants me to debate their person, and that may or may not happen. And then, again, if I'm sitting there, I you can still win because it's elimination, but then I'm sitting there for 3-4 hours just not doing anything. I mean, no shade to at all. I love swords. I love doing Swords of Reason. But just the time. It's the timing of the play that doesn't work. If it did start at 8 p.m. Eastern, I would never miss it. I would never miss it. I also, I did go to work yesterday. So it's not even like I can sleep until 5 p.m. and then just get up and just be up all night. It all works. But yeah, that was the other thing. And like, is there predetermined prompts, or do they work it out on? From what I remember, I can't remember if it was VK or if it was Grid One, where a lot of time is just spent like, okay, what do you want to debate? It's like, oh no, we agree on that. Okay, what about this? I don't really believe that, but I can debate it. I think that's a really good thing for the practice of debate. But I personally don't have any interest in doing that kind of debate just to debate. I realized I thought I did, but I did it a few times, and I'm like, oh, I'm just arguing to argue. I stopped doing it. If something comes up, like easy offer, something for Swords of Reason, I'm always open to it. I do DMZ with Horseradish. It's not that I don't like them, and it's not that I don't like debating. It's just a lot more than just popping in my seat, watching a video, talking to you guys. And full disclosure, we don't get as many donos when I can't directly talk to you guys. So I don't really know. Rather be grumpy drunk than weepy drunk. Oh, definitely. I used to get weepy drunk when I was on probation. I couldn't smoke weed, and I got into wine. I got into drinking wine, and that'll make you weepy and whiny. It's fun time at the beginning of month though. I run out of Pula. Hey, whatever you guys got. It's a free show. If you guys are enjoying it and you guys want there to be more, then whatever you can do. Either side, and that's what I say. And that's a big part of the Grid One Motorsport debate. The problem is that with that platform, again, no shade to Grid One Motorsports. I'm just giving my opinion on the structure. I don't like how so much time is spent picking the topic. I think Grid One's show would be infinitely better if he had a list of prompts like Horseradish does. And then you pick the two people, and it's like, all right, here's one of 3 prompts. You guys have to agree on one of these. The debates aren't even as long as the time that it takes to pick the debate. I'm BK. People need to learn devil's advocate, but it's not for everybody. Yeah. Again, the timing, the fact that it's mostly devil's advocate type stuff, debating to debate. I'm just not that guy. And I thought I was for a while, which is why I was very much into it. But I'm not, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm down. I'm much more willing to have a conversation, a discussion, and like it could be a heated fucking discussion. We could get into it. We could argue. I'm not against that part. I love getting loud. Man, what the fuck are you talking about? I just fucking said this. I love that shit. But I have to care. I have to care about the topic, and I have to know about the topic. So yeah, argue, just argue. It's very cool. It's definitely entertaining to see other people doing it, but waiting around just to do it, not my thing. It has to be a noteworthy topic, not something super general. Yep. Hey, shout out to Trey Williams. Welcome to the party. I'm belated Juneteenth for the blacks. The blacks. welcome to the party. You do it, brother. Yeah, right. It's like I didn't mean to embarrass you, but hey, sometimes it's just that good. Sometimes, yeah, right. And and then sometimes you gotta take the L's. But yeah, I much prefer to be like, okay, you are like, let's just take for example something I personally don't care too much about right now. Like, let's say we were gonna debate the Iran war. Like, I don't really care to debate that. But if I did, then it would be, okay, you're pro-war, I'm anti-war. Let's come in and have a discussion about what we think, with the intention being that, hey, maybe I will change your mind, and maybe you'll change my mind. Probably not. It's really for the audience, but maybe. Who knows? Because then there's no benefit to just trying to win for the sake of winning. Everyone wins. I'm not somebody who has an issue being wrong. Like, yeah, I hate being wrong, but that just makes me find out which parts of the things that I think are wrong, and then change them to the right thing. And so if I'm in a debate and someone is like making a really good point that destroys my side, I'd much rather be able to be like, oh damn, all right, yeah, I like that. You won me over. Let's continue talking about that. Instead of, well, actually, no, technically, if you look, and then you're just reaching for debate tactics. Not my thing. No shade to anybody who does it, and fucking kudos to anybody who posts that shit. I mean, VK specifically, people, are just going to show up. But I mean, in the beginning, I highly doubt it was like that. And coming up with the prompts, organizing with people, getting people's schedules, all that stuff, I do not envy it even a little bit. We got going on. Welcome to the party. Not feeling so high, just hanging out for a little bit, but I miss you guys. Yeah, what is going on with you? Are you having a stroke? You'd rather be right or be kind. Can I be both? Yes, I can. If we're not in the debate. Yeah, go. Reminder, everybody, the movie night double feature is tomorrow. Yep. I've learned to through all this time. I've learned to be able to kind of pick out, what the fuck this kind of shit says. But there is there's this thing that once you learn to actually read, not beyond the level of can you read the index card videos that we've been seeing going around, but you can actually read. You don't actually have to use the phonetics anymore. You just recognize the words, you recognize phrases, and that's reading. And so, like, for example, if you're to take this sentence, if you mix up the letters in all of the words, but the first letter and the last letter are the same, then you should have no problem reading it. Like, I'll do it. N R P R. We'll just do your inner perfectionist, but C T N O N. Oh, tell me that you wouldn't be able. Tell me that you wouldn't be able to make out what that's supposed to say. Like, yeah, you might have to look at it. You might have to take a minute, but there's no way that you're coming out with. If you're able to because your brain barely even registers the middle of the word. It's just making sure that the letters are all there. And so that it's about sight reading. That's a big thing in and that's a big thing in music as well. That like once you learn to read music, you're like, okay, that's A, that's C, especially the chords. Like, okay, we got the B minor, the C plus, the C, and whatever. It's just your brain acknowledging, and then you can get sheet music that you've never seen before, and you can just play it. In a way that you can get a book you've never seen before and read it. Okay, so I prefer people who are friends with different opinions, having conversations more than debates, but I also hate confrontation. Yeah, and I can be quite confrontational, but I'm trying. I think I've gotten better. You know, I will absolutely let it go there. And I know, you know, if there's certain people, like shout out to Bob. I know if me and Bob are arguing something, then we could just go right to, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? This is a bullshit. You know what the fuck you're talking about? Da, 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 da. Because we know that, like, that's based on a level of respect that we're not trying to hurt each other or make each other feel bad or anything. It's just about the thing. But if it's somebody that I don't know, then I'm gonna fucking try to be cordial and kind of suss out what's going on. And when you do that, even if it does get heated, then because you went in softer, you went in with you know, good faith and all that stuff. Then when it turns sour, you built up that goodwill. And so it's like, all right, you want to take it here? Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Let's pop on the Twitter machine. Watch a little something before we head out of here. Have very productive conversations, but we had you ones though. Yeah, and I don't think they're mutually exclusive. I think some of the heated conversations have been productive, some of them have not. But and sometimes we've had calmer conversations that weren't really about anything. It's as long as you're there in good faith, I mean, that's what's going to come out. I'm surprised at how spicy I was last time I was up there. What? Up here? I don't remember. What were we doing? I forget. I have a bad memory. Went on with the Twitters. Oh shit. That shirt is so tight. Funded Walter Masterson about his support of sex changes for children, written all over his face, that he knows how wrong this is, but of course he won't say that out loud. What a cuck.
Wait, but what's wrong with Drag Story? Are you saying this is Drag Story? I was convincing people to cut off their
Absolutely.
genitals?
You think it's appropriate?
That Mike Harlow. I haven't I've been like talked to him on Twitter, but I haven't talked to him in a while. I'm gonna get him back on here, or get me on his channel.
You can look, there's a picture of it right there. Do you think it's appropriate for grown men to go in front of children with signs on their chest saying, I don't want to look or be cis? And that's the message that's being sent to toddlers.
Shout out to 2G1C. We were just talking about Two Girls, One Cup. We were talking about Blue Waffle. We were talking about Kids in a Sandbox. What was the one where the guy shoves the bottle up his ass and it breaks? Oh, man. Early internet was a different world. A different world. The fact that I got banned for a week for saying the F slur, but I put an R in it, like Fraggot. I said that. Banned for a week. Back in the day, we had Two Girls, One Cup.
Toddlers. So, but wait. So first off,
signs on their chest saying, I don't want to look or be cis. And that's the message that's being sent to toddlers.
So, but wait. So first off,
if you repeat something in a smug way, it's still true.
Okay, so if there was a thing.
Got it! You know, if you repeat something and they always say, like, what? W.
Toddlers. So, but wait. So first off,
if you repeat something in a smug way, it's still true.
Okay, so if there was a thing that said it's not okay to be cis, and I brought, well, first of all, this is voluntary. So if I was a parent and I brought my kid to this, and there was that, I'd be like, maybe this isn't for me.
It's not voluntary when it's in schools.
This is not voluntary.
No, this is voluntary. It is not voluntary.
Attendance at drag story hours.
This is voluntary for the third time. It is not voluntary when they have these programs in schools.
Okay, but this one's voluntary.
Let's take a. I don't want to look or be cis. It says the shirt worn by an adult performer, Professor Lionel Longlegs, pronouns they and it. Reading to your children at elementary school. PS42 for drag queen story hour in New York City. I love that. Are you any chance, Al Puke? Any chance that you were a fan of How I Met Your Mother? There are so many good wordplay puns in that show. I mean, it's a great show. Other than that, but nobody here watches that shit. And it fucking pisses me off because it's so good, and there's so many references to be made.
Okay, but this one's voluntary.
And you have multiple children who were pushed into this as they get a little bit older. Somebody like Layla Jane, who's now suing because they removed her breasts at 13 years old.
Damn, what is that?
Somebody like Layla Jane, who's now
women pressured into breast removal at 13 under quote erroneous belief she was transgender.
Because they removed her breasts at 13 years old. Do you think that's okay to do to a 13-year-old child?
No, definitely not. We got Nikki Dark Angel. Welcome. For the fact that we now cater every aspect of society to accommodate the least intelligent, most maladjusted people, instead of just telling them life is tough and get over it. It do be like that, but I think we're starting to see that this I guess gentle parenting type of approach to society is backfiring. I think we're starting to see that, like I'm a millennial, so I don't have any kids, but it's definitely my generation who we're like, we're gonna make everything so much better, and your kid's never gonna have to feel sadness or pain or anything ever again. It's like, guys, that doesn't work. That's not life. That's not how that works. They didn't listen. And so now you have a whole generation of it. So there's people who are going to be, who are like, Gen Z parents who still feel like, oh, we got to be gentle parents, all that shit. And parents like, get the fuck out of here. But yeah, bad. Welcome to the party. Remember, guys, if you're on the vertical stream and you prefer to be on the landscape stream, you can click either the pinned link or the link in the description, and it'll bring you right over, and you'll be able to see my hands. The people can see my hands. All right, welcome. Let's see what else we got. Hey.
It shouldn't be a capricious decision.
So we agree that that's wrong.
When someone is trans, there's a lot of people working on
To
this.
remove the breasts of a 13-year-old child.
How long have they been trans? When did they
To
go?
remove the breasts of a 13-year-old child. And you can't say that that's a bad thing?
Tell him, Mike. Tell him.
What is wrong with you?
A lot. How much time you got? How much time you got? God damn. And like, shout out to Mike. He's very very obviously a gay dude, but he's very obviously a gay dude, but he is based. He is himself. He's still like that kind of gay. It's not like yeah, exactly. Oh, that was that. But yeah, he's he's not like super covert. Oh, you would never know that he was gay, and he's fine with that. He's like, I am who I am, and also I don't need to put my lot in with the LGBT MMIW 2+ spirit, whatever. And there's conservative Ant. He's more on TikTok, but same kind of thing. Where he's like a very, very gay, and well, definitely the sugar on the tank. But the things that you're saying are legit. And maybe there's like, especially since I'm not a Christian, but maybe there's a lot of Christian conservatives who would say, I don't care if they're saying the right thing. They're living in sin and blah 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 blah. But that ain't me. That ain't me. I don't care what you do with your sexual organs as long as it is legal and with an adult. Well, that would be, yeah, as long as it's legal and is consented to. Then what's the fucking problem? I'm gonna roll one more. I just have a feeling that I'm gonna need it. I have a feeling. Alright, let's find something else to put on here. We'll do one more, and then I'm going to bed. Oh, Jesus. This is how male gamers should behave with female gamers. Oh, Jesus.
Did you guys?
Shut the fuck up.
Fucking literally the one wants to fucking hear you talk.
No wonder we lost.
Go back to the kitchen. Go back to the kitchen.
I'll never play this game again, bro.
Somebody turn the dishwasher off.
What the? What are these people even fucking doing? And what is this game?
Or not.
Shut the fuck up.
Like that's the only aspect of that matters. Does she actually suck or no? Does she actually suck or no? If she didn't suck and you're just saying that shit because you want to be mean to a girl, well, that's pretty fucking gay. But if she sucks, then that's how we would talk to anybody else. Blueberry Street said our sexuality is the least interesting thing about us, in my opinion. Well, true, but you also have to remember that we have personalities. They don't. So, legitimately, their sexuality might be the most interesting thing about them. Unironically. One of my boyfriend's dad was absolutely flying. I learned a lot about the ouvre. I don't know what that word is. What is the ouvre? Please, school me. School me on the flamery. What is the ouvre? Sounds French. Oh, hell yes. I was going to show you guys this anyway, because I found it on TikTok, but
before the COVID pandemic,
this is how I don't want to say no, but so I'll put it this way. This is why I'm going to choose to believe that that Tulsi is way less corrupt than any of the other like Democrats that came in on board with MAGA, including not that they're Democrats, but like the Dan Bongino, Cash Patel. We had yeah, just forget the Democrat part. Cash Patel, Dan Bongino, Pam Bondi, RFK, fucking who's the other one that I'm thinking of? Pete Hegseth and Tulsi. This is what makes me think that Tulsi might be the best one that has been fired. Because after the others have been fired or sent back to whatever, they've been kind of gay. But Tulsi is doing this.
Dr. Fauci, before the COVID pandemic, Dr. Fauci, as head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, provided millions in U.S. taxpayer dollars to fund dangerous gain-of-function research on bat coronaviruses at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, work which is now widely viewed as the source of the unintentional lab leak that sparked the pandemic. Now, in support of President Trump's maximum transparency mandate, today, on my final day as Director of National Intelligence, I'm releasing never-before-seen communications and documents that expose exactly how Fauci worked with politicized career leadership in the intelligence community to suppress the truth about his actions, the virus's lab leak origins, and his role in directing U.S. funding for this dangerous research that caused immeasurable harm and countless lost lives. Now, these documents expose Fauci's direct role in influencing and manipulating IC assessments on COVID-19.
Oh, but remember, Senator Paul, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay, we did not do gain-of-function research in the Wuhan lab. It was some Chinaman eating a bat. All right? You don't know what you're talking about.
And how Fauci lied to Congress in 2024 when under oath he denied knowledge of or participation in discussions with intelligence officials about viral research. We also received testimony from multiple intelligence community whistleblowers who reported retaliation for challenging the intelligence community's manipulation of intelligence on the virus's origins, once again revealing a clear pattern of suppressing dissent, silencing critics, and burying the truth. Dr. Fauci's close relationships with the—
So before we continue with that, okay, so Ovure is a body of work, usually artistic. I couldn't think of a word for gator. Oh, okay, interesting. The gestalt. So what? How did you use it? This gestalt is another word that means like the collection. Oh, you just said you learned a lot about it. Oh, like okay, I gotcha. Like a lot of the vibe. Gotcha. Nikki said, did I say hi to you? I think I said hi to you. If not, hello. I suck at FPS games. That's why I play single-player games and leave men to their own stuff. There you go. Know how I roll. There's a reason I'm not out on the basketball court, guys. There's a reason I'm not on the basketball court. I am 5'4". I am not any help on the basketball court. So I stay off the basketball court. I want you to remember, this was 4 years ago when all that shit was finally coming out in the wash.
You today to admit that you approved of NIH funding for gain-of-function research in Wuhan, but your repeated
it up just so we got it, but
denials have worn thin, and a majority of Americans, frankly, don't believe you. Even the NIH now admits that EcoHealth Alliance did perform experiments in Wuhan that created viruses not found in nature that actually did gain in lethality. The facts are clear. The NIH did fund gain-of-function research in Wuhan, despite your protestations. You can deny it all you want, but even the Chinese authors of the paper, in their paper, admit that viruses not found in nature were created, and yes, they gained in infectivity. Your persistent denials, though, are not simply a stain on your reputation, but are a clear and present danger to the country and to the world. As Professor Kevin Esvelt of MIT has written, gain-of-function research looks like a gamble that civilization can't.
What? Who's Mother Teresa's son? Because Mother Teresa is a fucking scam. Talk about a hoax. That bitch let people die so she could, so her, her profile could be bigger. That's a deep dive idea we all need to do. But who? Who are you talking about? Don't you have dogs tortured for science? That's all I need to know about them. Yep, they would have dogs and, be up there and they just have, like, not fruit flies, but, some kind of shit, like, eat them alive. Fucking ridiculous.
Afford to risk. And yet here we are again with you steadfast in your denials. Why does it matter? Because gain-of-function research with laboratory-created viruses not found in nature could cause a pandemic even worse the next time. We're suffering today from one that has a mortality of approximately 1%. They're experimenting with viruses that have mortalities of between 15 and 50%. Yes, our civilization could be at risk from one of these viruses. Experiments that combine unknown viruses.
Is that real? Are you serious? I don't want to have to. I'm doing shit. I don't want to look it up. But is that really his mom? Or are you just joking?
With known pandemic-causing viruses are incredibly risky. Experiments that combine unknown viruses with coronaviruses that have as much as 50% mortality could endanger civilization as we know it. And here you sit, unwilling to accept any responsibility for the current pandemic and unwilling to take any steps to prevent gain-of-function research from possibly unleashing an even more deadly virus. You mislead the public by saying that the published viruses could not be COVID. Well, exactly no one is alleging that. No one is alleging that the published viruses by the Chinese are COVID. What we are saying is that this was risky type of research, gain-of-function research. It was risky to share this with the Chinese, and that COVID may have been created from...
Give me a straight answer, Blueberry. Are you joking or are you not joking? You're saying I'm joking or I'm being serious. I don't, is Fauci really the spawn, the spawn of Satan, the spawn of Mother Teresa?
Not yet revealed virus. We don't anticipate the Chinese are going to reveal the virus if it came from their lab. You know that, but you continue to mislead. You continue to support NIH money going to Wuhan. You continue to say you trust the Chinese scientists. You seem to have learned nothing from the pandemic. Will you today finally take some responsibility for funding gain-of-function research in Wuhan?
You don't know what you're talking about, Senator.
Senator, with all due respect, I disagree with so many of the things that you've said. First of all, gain of function is a very nebulous term. We have spent, not us, but outside bodies.
Oh, come on. Why is this computer doing this? Play, motherfucker.
A considerable amount of effort to give a more precise definition to the type of research that is of concern that might lead to a dangerous situation. You are aware of that. That is called P3CO.
We're aware that you deleted gain of function from the NIH website.
Well, I can get back to that in a moment if we have time, but let's get back to the operating framework and guide rails of which we operate under.
And so, if you don't remember this, the long and short of it is that gain of function, meaning making the virus more dangerous, with the stated intent of being able to combat that virus. That is called gain of function, according to the World Health Organization. But Fauci was the person in charge of changing the definition to directed evolution. And so it's the exact same thing. They just changed the name so specifically so that he could go and sit here and be like, no, we didn't do gain of function. Well, technically, legally, that part was not a lie. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. I mean, now that you say it, I definitely can see it. But that's wild. But that's what he's...
you have ignored them. The guidelines are very, very clear that you have to be dealing with the pathogen that clearly is shown and very likely to be highly transmissible in an uncontrollable way in humans and to have a high degree of morbidity and mortality, and that you do experiments to enhance that, hence the word EPPP, enhanced pathogens of potential.
So when EcoHealth Alliance took the virus SHC014 and combined it with WIV1 and caused a recombinant virus that doesn't exist in nature, and it made mice sicker, mice that had humanized cells, you're saying that that's not gain-of-function research?
According to the framework.
And again, so he's going back to, no, the function was gained by something that's not created, but we've changed the definition. So you're trying to come after me. This is the most blatant example of semantic obfuscation. If I'm not mistaken, this is the exchange that helped me think of that framework. Semantic obfuscation, taking the use and meaning of words and twisting them to purposely change what they're supposed to mean so that it helps you out in a political context, or at least a rhetorical context. He knows that they made that virus worse, and then either it escaped or they let it out. Doesn't really matter now. That's what happened. And in that moment, we're just asking, be honest. Nobody is saying like, we want to execute you. I ain't against it, but that's not what this was. Remember, most of the world was on the Fauci side for the longest time. So there's no reason to be, the framework and
guidelines.
So what you're doing is defining away gain of function. You're simply saying it doesn't exist because you changed the definition on the NIH website. This is terrible, and you're completely trying to escape the idea that we should do something about trying to prevent a pandemic from leaking from a lab. There's the preponderance of evidence now points towards this coming from the lab, and what you've done is change the definition on your website to try to cover your ass, basically. That's what you've done. You've changed the website to try to have a new definition that doesn't include the risky research that's going on. Until you admit that it's risky, we're not going to get anywhere.
No, anywhere. And yeah, that's one I don't remember a lot. This was, I was in college. This was like, I was in the militant atheist phase. So I was ready to anything that would make Christianity look bad. I was like, well, yeah, And so that was my reasoning for looking into Mother Teresa, is because I had heard that, you know, she wasn't as great as she's supposed to, you know, made out to be. And yeah, like in the same way, like John Doyle just did a thing on Rosa Parks, and how Rosa Parks was, you know, it was a publicity thing. You know, not that it didn't matter, but it was there was another lady that they wanted to be the Rosa Parks, but she got pregnant out of wedlock, and so they went to Rosa Parks. Guess what? Her husband had a car. But all right, so how much longer is it? Yeah, let's see.
You have to admit that this research was risky. The NIH has now rebuked them. Your own agency has rebuked them. But the thing is you're still unwilling to admit that they gained in function when they say they became sicker. They gained in lethality. It's a new virus. That's not gain of function?
According to the definition that is currently operable, you know, Senator, let's make it clear for the people who are listening. The current definition was done over a 2 to 3 year period by outside bodies, including the NSABB, 2 conferences by the National Academy of Science, Engineering, and Medicine on December 2014, March 2016. We commissioned external risk-benefit assessment, and then on January of 2017, the Office of Science and Technology Policy of the White House issued the current policy.
And coincidentally,
I have not
the
changed
definition
any
appeared
definition.
on the same day the NIH said that yes, there was a gain of function in Wuhan.
He's just saying things. None of that was anything. And so fast forward. Tulsi, you know, Trump wins, brings in Tulsi for the what is it, DNI, whatever it is, and then she gets fired. But on her way out,
the intelligence community enabled him to assume 3 key roles that shield him from scrutiny. First, Dr. Fauci funded dangerous gain-of-function coronavirus research linked to Big Pharma in their pursuit of universal vaccines worth trillions of dollars. Second, Dr. Fauci was the behind-the-scenes...
I don't like to say that I hate people, but I fucking hate Anthony Fauci. I won't call him doctor. I hate Fauci. Sam Vaknin did a dissection of the virus and Fauci in 2021. Save my sanity from the bullshit. There we go. We got purebloods. Did you guys take the vaccine? Put a 1 in the chat if you did not take the COVID vaccine. Shout out to the purebloods.
advisor who, alongside his hand-picked so-called experts, pushed the intelligence community to endorse a natural animal origin to hide his dangerous gain-of-function research.
Don't forget, guys, we can still get Maury treats even though we're not in the studio. He needs his CPC.
That he funded using taxpayer dollars, all of this in a deliberate attempt to cover up the truth and shift the blame and attention away from Fauci's own actions. Third, Dr. Fauci became the nation's pandemic pundit, and he publicly pushed lies, disinformation, and censorship using every platform available. Now, according to hundreds of reviewed emails, which are included in this release.
That's it. Just me and Al Puke. I know we got more purebloods here. More purebloods. But either way, dilly to you. Biggest propaganda campaign of our lifetimes. And you stood up against it. Trey says, so that story is true to a degree. So we're talking about Rosa Parks. The first young woman was indeed arrested for not moving to the back of the bus. The NAACP felt because she was a teen mom, they couldn't use her story, so they went to Rosa. Yep. And so that's why I'm saying, like, it doesn't. I'm not saying that, like, oh, there was no racial issues, but we just have to keep in mind that as the parties have moved forward, they still use the same type of tactic. And so that, that's either side. That's right or left. But a little bit different. A little bit different now, but either way. It was a test to see how much they could fuck with us in the future. Kinda, yeah. He said, I had to get the vax so I could go to a Megadeth concert, and then they canceled it anyway. Oh, no! No! Oh, man. Oh, man. How do you feel about that looking back now? How do you feel about that now? Looking back. They said, we're going to share. I adopted the neighbor's French bulldog. Quigs? He's 7 years old, 11 and a half inches tall, and 30 pounds. Mostly up front in the chest. He's a character. Well, Dilly from Morty to Quigs. Dilly. Alright, then back in here.
Intelligence community almost always incorporated Fauci's recommendations. He promoted a fraudulent paper whose publication he helped prompt as legitimate information for intelligence community consideration. Senior analyst praised Dr. Fauci, not...
Well, let's just put my name on it. Just put my name on the papers. Nobody's gonna ask anything because I am the science. I am the science, okay?
Not as a policymaker, but as what they called an unbiased guide to the real coronavirus experts, while deliberately ignoring experts who might dissent from Fauci's narratives. Now, Fauci didn't stop there. He blatantly lied to Congress under oath during his 2024 testimony to the House Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic.
And that's what we just watched.
Denying that he ever spoke to any intelligence agency about COVID. Now, the correspondence I'm releasing today directly contradicts his sworn testimony. And we received statements from multiple whistleblowers revealing that the intelligence analysts who dared to challenge Dr. Fauci's COVID origin conclusions faced threats of retaliation, marginalization, and many suffered career setbacks. For example, a contractor was terminated just days after coming forward to ODNI as a whistleblower. Another example, those who advocated for the lab leak hypothesis or expressed dissenting views were reminded by their managers that leadership would determine which analysts would be promoted and which would not. The message was clear: go along or be punished. Senior leaders also sought to undermine whistleblowers by removing anonymity, which is required in the whistleblower process, as they made their complaints, and also insisting that their managers or attorneys be present during OD.
So even though there is, I mean, I don't know specifically what the protections for whistleblowers are, but there is, I know that there is something in place to make sure that if we have whistleblowers, they are protected from the government, because that's the whole point, is that, you know, the government can do whatever the fuck it wants. And so, I mean, you know, we got the Clinton kill list for a reason. And so we have these things set up so that we don't get another Snowden, and he has to fucking flee to Russia. And they're like, nah, that's cool. Just let everybody lie. Just let everybody lie. Insane. Dilly. Yeah. That's right about Morty's age. Ugh. Oy vey. The best job Trump ever did was convince people he never supported the vaccine or Fauci. He supported the vaccine, just not the mandates. He was fucking all about Project Warp Speed. That's the best thing we've ever done, and I do honestly think that, you know, given that the vaccine was not needed for most people, but for old people, like, the vaccine worked out. And Trump definitely, you know, he definitely loves, yeah, he was a warp speed freak. He loved that shit. It was a matter of the fact that the people, then he was out of office, then the people learned to, we learned what was going on, what the fact that, you know, none of this was based in anything, those types of Fauci testimony or whatever the fuck, it's not the way that Trump presented it was that I did all the good things, so anything bad about that is Biden's fault. I don't remember him ever being like super pro Fauci. I'm definitely mad that he wasn't more anti Fauci, but I don't remember him being like, Fauci's the best. In the last race, in the last race, a clip I see made, he didn't support well. That's what they do, right? That's what they do. They be lying.
BNI meetings where these whistleblowers were coming forward with their testimony, obviously creating an atmosphere of intimidation. The COVID pandemic caused tremendous hardship and pain for millions of our fellow Americans and countless people around the world. Now, after years of lies and censorship and cover-ups, the American people...
The other thing I want to say before she finishes up here, we have to remember that there is a difference between how Trump handled things and where there has to be a difference in how we look at how Trump handled things versus how Biden handled things, in the context that we really didn't understand what was going on when it first came. Maybe Fauci and his boys did, but we, like the general public as well as the general government, didn't really know what was going on. And so I don't know at what point it became clear that this is true, this is not true, and so we've got to just kind of give the benefit of the doubt and be like, a novel worldwide pandemic, that's never happened before. Yeah, you fucked it up, but like there's no blueprint for that. So here's what it is. By the time Biden came in, it was a very, very different scene. And so messing things up for on COVID for Biden is significantly worse because of the fact that we had that much more time. And so I'm not saying that Trump was great. Obviously, it started under Trump, and Fauci was there. Fauci's been there since the 80s, and so that's another thing. That's like, did any? I certainly didn't know to hate Anthony Fauci before all this. Like this is what we talk about, the deep state. Like, these aren't people that are on your TV. These aren't people that are going on podcasts and stuff. These are the people that are just doing the things. And so even if you want to take it a step further, and just in the pure politicking, and I'm not making the excuse, but I'm just laying this out, that it made sense that even if Trump knew X, Y, and Z about COVID, that he didn't tell people, or he wasn't honest about it, that's not the same thing as Biden having those same ideas 3-4 years later. They're both bad. No, Napster, huh? Well, I mean, I don't know, because where... So, I guess the question is, do you like Spotify, and why or why not? Because that's the direct line. We had Napster, then we had Kazaa, LimeWire, and all those. We got Pandora, and now we have Spotify. So I never got into Spotify. I had a like a deep music library where I was just like, I don't need a service for this. I just have a dope ass library of music, and I held it on Google Play Music, and it was awesome. I just throw it on shuffle, and music from 20 years ago just pop up. Amazing. One day, I get an email and a little notification that says, "Okay, we're not doing Google Play Music anymore." For whatever reason, I assumed that meant that they you weren't being able to that you wouldn't be able to buy new songs or whatever. But your library is your library. Okay, so that is fair for you if you don't use Spotify, because I was like that. I don't know, I didn't have 20K songs. I had a lot of music and a lot of different stuff that was specific to me. And this is also, because of the Napster and the LimeWire era, where you're not necessarily getting something that's labeled properly. It might be the song you want, but it's called Soulja Boy Tell 'Em, or the file. And so we didn't really learn track names as well as I'm sure people do now. It was just, that song on the third album or whatever. The one that goes like, bow, whatever. And so if I had paid closer attention to that notification, what the hell just happened? If I paid a little bit closer to that notification and that email, I would still have music. But I didn't. They weren't saying they were just going to stop selling music. They were deleting the entire thing. So my entire library of music got nuked. I would like, that's, you know, if I could remember what songs to look up, most of them would be on YouTube. But I don't remember most stuff. It's not something that you think you have to commit to memory, because I've got it all in my library. Same thing with phone numbers. You know, we used to always have 20, 30 phone numbers memorized. And now if you lose your phone, we don't know anybody's number. And man, it was I was, what a loss. What a loss. It felt like a death. It felt like the death. There's 25 years of music. 25 years of music. Just gone. Cassettes. I'm 36, so I was never. I mean, I had cassettes, but like my first mixed CD was a CD. Like the first album that I ever owned that I didn't take from my brother was Linkin Park Hybrid Theory. Hey, mystery man, welcome to the party. Right, yeah. If you know the name of the artist, it's easy to find the song, but you've got to know the name of the artist. And you know, they're just like I do remember a lot, but especially the like low key shit that, you know, I downloaded in 7th grade and I listened to a million times and then just never came back to it. But if it comes up on the shuffle, I'm like, oh, word up! It's just all gone. It's all gone. I actually went back to Facebook. Yeah, right, exactly. I went to my Facebook, which is still, like, you know, not connected to the Indian Jesus stuff. It was just, you know, my hometown and all that. I was like, yo, I'll pay somebody who was in the scene. I'll pay you $50. I'll pay you $50. Just let me look through your library and get all the shit from the years that I forgot. Hey, shout out to Poop Toy. Welcome. No, I know my favorite ones. I don't know the ones that I don't know. You know the name of every single. Okay, go ahead. List every song in your music library. Go ahead. Yeah, exactly. So there's a bunch of bands that I know because I listen to them all the time. But again, the low key, the low key ones, they're not as easy to find. They're not going to pop up on playlists. They're not going to. Okay, so pick any artist and name every song from them. Exactly. So if they're not on a major record label, then it's not going to be there. That's the whole point. The band, the CDs that I got from a basement show in 2003, that doesn't exist anymore. And again, a lot of the times, because of the fact that you were downloading shit, the title of the file didn't match the title of the song. I feel like I'm going crazy here. Okay, so you list every single song by Freddie Mercury by memory. It don't work like that. And it's like, yeah, maybe if you're listening to fucking top 40 shit that's all over the radio, then it's going to be easy to find because it's popular music. Again, I was going to underground basement shows, and then I was going to warehouse raves, where it's like you didn't know who the fuck was playing. You didn't know the name of the artist. You didn't know that. Even if you did know the name of the artist, they're just playing songs from the last 20 years, mixing something from 20 years ago with something that just came up. Okay, fine. But again, as I'm explaining at this moment, how am I supposed to? If I go to a warehouse rave in Brooklyn, there's no signs there might be a flyer that said these 4 people are spinning, and then I don't know what they're playing. They don't pronounce. At a rock show, like, all right, everybody, this one's called blah 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 blah. It's about my. At a rave, it just goes. And so this is telling me a lot about your music taste. That you probably don't really listen to deep cuts of much of anything. Because just look it up. The idea. Notice how Nikki wasn't like, or yeah, to be fair, find a single song is that didn't even see this when I was talking before. Exactly. So if you only listen to Freddie Mercury and U2, then yeah, we're not gonna forget about those. I would say if you can hear the melody, but you can't find it. That's the worst. Then when you find it, it's great. But exactly. So yeah, if you're listening to U2 and Queen, I don't expect you to forget, or Metallica. I don't expect you to fucking forget that. But like the Tweedledees or some shit. Like maybe I remember 1 or 2. Some people are just cooler than other people. Yeah, shout out to CDs. All right. All right, so I'm gonna throw on something real quick. If you guys want to keep the party raging, send in a do. Otherwise, we are going to bed.
They deserve transparency, truth, and accountability. The tactics that were used to hide the truth are straight from the deep state playbook. Politicized self-serving leaders like Dr. Fauci covered up their own wrongdoing and abuses of power, manipulated intelligence, lied to Congress, and undermined a duly elected president by restricting his access to the vital facts he needed to keep the country safe. It's time you know the truth.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Fuck them. Bug them. Let's see. We have the go up here. Oh, come on. I can't even search for it. I used because we have that song, the one that like Guamtech made for us, and that was Music GPT, not Suno. I mean, there's definitely something to be said about, you know, how AI music is not AI art in general is not good for the arts. But I also feel like completely generated AI generated music is only going to go so far. Like, you can do a lot, but in the next 5 years, the amount of people just creating songs over and over and over, everything is going to, you know, it's going to just have that vibe, that sound of AI, and people are just like, oh, this sounds like AI music. I'm hoping, and yeah, that's where I was going. I remember when dance music was getting more popular in like the top 40 stuff. Then people were, myself included, will same thing with like auto-tune. It was, oh, auto-tune's gonna ruin everything, and then it didn't. Oh, yeah, never. I don't follow any new music anymore. Yeah, I think it's going to become a tool to, in the same way where like you used to have a demo. Like, the demo is not the finished product. The demo is just like, well, this is what I'm going for, and so you AI generate a song, and then you do whatever to it, and then play that song on your own. Yeah, I remember when electronic music was getting more popular, and people were talking. I was saying the same kind of shit, like, "Oh, this is fucking stupid. They're not even playing. They're just pressing the play button." And blah, blah, blah. Obviously, I had no idea the difference between a producer and a DJ. And there's still skills in DJing, but it's definitely not music production. And so then I learned. And the irony was that when I was into rock music and was hating on electronic music, that was the line. Like, oh, why would you want to go to a rave? It's so boring. They're not doing it. They're just standing there. Not understanding that at a rave, it's not a concert like that. It's a party. And the music is a big factor, but it's not the only factor. Whereas when you go to a rock show, you're going to a performance and you watch the performance. I mean, you know, you might be moshing around and whatever. I'm too old for that shit. I'm at the back bar. But that's what you're there for. And so it's just a different thing. And the irony is now that my opinion has completely flipped. Where it's like, I don't really want to go to a rock show. It's kind of boring. They're just kind of standing there. Because at a DJ concert type thing where it's like that, you're going to have huge light shows and very visually stimulating. And also, the music doesn't stop. I don't know how rock music has not picked up on this. The music does not stop. Especially, like, if you're going to an outdoor thing, you, like, let's say there's one stage, like Pier 91 in Philly or something. You go, you can hear the music, like just like opening music. Maybe nobody is actually DJing. Maybe somebody is just putting on a playlist. But that music is playing, you know, while you're walking. You get there, and the music never stops. It goes from the opening, you know, vibe music, whatever. And you're like, oh, thank you, everybody. Oh, music's playing, and then it just starts. Now the first DJ, who's doing his thing, he's playing. Music is going and going and going, and again, it doesn't stop in between tracks. It goes from this one to that one, to that one, to that one, and then even in between DJs, the DJ will play his last song, do what he needs to do, and then get out of the way, and then the next DJ will come up and start, and it's just smooth like butter. As opposed to, you go to a rock show, takes them 20. I don't know why the opening band doesn't fucking set up before the start time, but whatever, setting up. Then, you know, they're doing, all right, ready? Okay. Play a song, 2 to 5 minutes, and then they stop. It was, yeah, thank you guys for coming out. We are Red Soaked Marsh. This is our guitarist. This is Jeremy. You guys want to hear something else? Yeah. And then they play another song, 2 to 5 minutes, and then they stop again. And then after the band's done, they gotta take everything down. And the next band's got to put everything up. Then they play like 5 songs. The amount of time that I have spent at rock shows not listening to live rock music. Time I can never get back. Or compare the amount of time being at. How would we compare this? I'm trying to think of, like, let's say you're at a 10-hour event, just to use easy numbers. A 10-hour event. For an electronic show, you're listening to 10 hours of music, if not more. And you got the after party, so you're listening to 10 hours of music. If you have a 10-hour rock festival, there's gotta be at least 2.5 to 3 hours of just silence. And again, maybe they put something on in between, but yeah, see, what the hell? That line, Polly, check. Oh, there we go. You're back. Yeah. Aside from all my music being deleted, I definitely don't follow new music. But even listening to the music that I grew up with, I don't get to do it as much because I'm constantly just assaulting my ears with podcasts, videos, new stuff, whatever it is. There's always so much to catch up on, and I watch everything at 2x speed. And I mean, I don't have time for music anymore. Like in the car, I listen to specific podcasts that I don't necessarily care enough about to watch. And I've got my whole list of, my subscriptions, everything to my watch later list. I'll have like 70, 80, 90 videos a day that I need to watch. And so luckily I got them on 2x, but I don't know. There's no space for music. But if I had my library back, maybe that would be it. But all right, guys, I am gonna head out. I am feeling like shit. But remember, we have a movie night tomorrow. If you are new here, please do hit that subscribe. I'm live every Monday, Wednesday. I forgot for the vertical. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and just like right now, sometimes whenever I feel like it. It is a good old time. Definitely come through. We're gonna see what's good with the vertical streams throughout the week. And if I'm covering something that I'm pretty damn sure is not going to get any copyright, then I'll do a vertical stream as well. But come on over. The link is in the description the link will always be in the description to the actual full show. Like on landscape, nobody is unable to see my hands. That whole time. There's a lot going on there. And we also got Morty in the background when we're in the studio. You don't want to miss that. Oh yeah, love that. Yep, I've been not so much at the rock shows. I mean, I've been like front row for a bunch of stuff, but I forget, it was one outdoor festival. I forget exactly. It might have been Electric Zoo or so. It doesn't matter. But they had like one of the woofers, the subwoofers. It was taller than me, and it was just punching bass. I had just leaned against it. It was like, oh, fucking awesome. I could have, like, that's why I love hardstyle. I could have that reverse bass. I could have that in my ears all day. I wish that would just follow me around. Yeah, that's the one, right? That's the one. All right, guys. Thank you so very, very much. Again, I will be live around 6 or 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Make sure you come through. We are going to be doing a movie night. It is free. Everything has already been set up. It's a double feature. I think I have to look at the post, but let's see. Let's look at the post. It looks like as of this very moment, the Lethal Weapon is in first place, and Indiana Jones is in second. So that means that we will be watching Raiders of the Lost Ark and then watching the first Lethal Weapon movies I have never seen before. I'm a first-generation American. My parents are immigrants, so there's so much shit from the early 70s and before, but really the early 70s through up until the very early 90s. It's like I never seen it. I never seen it. Because that's the headliner. So the one, Lethal Weapon's got 35%. Oh, no, yeah, you're right. So we start with the second place. So right now, Lethal Weapon is in the first place, so that would be the headliner. So that's the last movie that we're going to see. We're going to see Raiders of the Lost Ark first, and then Lethal Weapon. We go by what you guys say. So thank you so very, very much, guys. Remember, triple points. If you like the movie nights, the during the movie night is the best time to get ahead, because you'll notice it's by points. So 1 point is $1. During the members after party, 1 point is $2. During the movie night itself, triple points. So do your thing, guys. Thank you so very, very much for hanging out. Big shout out to TV Viewerski, the sponsor of our stream. Very much appreciated. Good to see you guys who haven't been here in a while, or if you are brand new, great to see you once again. I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys. What are you saying? All right, until next time, guys. We are out of here. Peace.